The sunset paints the sky with a gradient of orange, pink, and purple. Silhouettes of trees and a few carts are visible in the distance, creating a melancholic and peaceful atmosphere. Under a star-studded night sky, a fierce battle takes place. A girl with long black hair nimbly floats in the air, wielding two daggers. Below her, a man with short brown hair fights against a ferocious gray wolf, aided by a brown-haired woman and a small child on a cart who looks terrified. After the battle, they gather around a campfire. A woman with long brown hair lights the fire with a stick, illuminating their weary faces. A young boy with short red hair sits pensively, exhaustion evident in his expression. The black-haired girl approaches the boy and asks, "How are you, Arthur?" Tired, the boy simply nods twice, still looking exhausted. The girl comforts Arthur, "Don't worry about it. This is just your first adventure," she continues, "so ... Your father bragged all the way about you being a genius." Arthur looks annoyed by her words. The girl then asks again, "Is it true you awakened a year ago?" A man with long red hair sits near the campfire, observing Arthur and the black-haired girl. He appears lost in thought, perhaps flashing back to a year ago. The long red-haired man stands and approaches the brown-haired man. "Hey, Reynold, I need to stretch a bit before bed," he says. Then, glancing at Arthur, he adds, "And you said you often spar with your son. Mind if I play with Arthur for a bit?" Reynold suggests that the red-haired man stretch on his own. He warns, "Sure, but be careful, we've only just started sparring practice. Before that, we were only doing strength and mana training." The long red-haired man then reaches out and lifts little Arthur with one hand. Reynolds' wife comments, "Normally, kids his age can climb stairs." The long red-haired man replies, "But I suppose here, no one thinks about fighting seriously." He looks at Arthur with a grin and says, "Ready, kid?" Arthur swiftly swings his small wooden stick. The red-haired man easily parries it with his own stick. "You know how to enhance your weapon, right, genius boy?" he asks mockingly. The red-haired man channels mana into his stick, creating the illusion of a roaring tiger's head. He grins, ready to test Arthur's abilities. Telepathically, Arthur seems to plead for help to get him out of this mess. Arthur closes his eyes for a moment, then opens them with a sharp gaze. He imagines himself wearing armor and holding a glowing golden sword. Arthur grips his wooden stick tightly and runs at high speed towards the red-haired man. The red-haired man is ready to parry Arthur's attack. Arthur manages to attack the red-haired man, but the man successfully blocks Arthur's attack. The red-haired man is surprised by Arthur's ability. Arthur slips this small body, he grumbles, and the man prepares to attack him. Arthur channels mana into his stick to attack the man. He spins and dodges. Arthur jumps and pushes the red-haired man. The man dodges and looks increasingly serious. The red-haired man kicks Arthur. Arthur avoids it, and the man then attacks Arthur with his stick. Arthur is knocked back and falls hard. He remembers Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Reynolds' wife shouts, "Art!" She is shocked to see Arthur fall. And the little boy made a painful opposite reaction. The large man, his friend, slaps the red-haired man and scolds him for playing too rough with Arthur. "What kind of hellish training are you giving to create this little monster?" He yells. Reynold, Arthur's father, replies, I didn't teach him that." Reynolds' wife heals Arthur. Arthur explains that he learned it by watching his father and reading books. The red-haired man is surprised and asks Arthur to teach him some movement techniques. Arthur explains his movement technique to the red-haired man, who tries it and crashes into a tree. The red-haired man asks, "How?" Several days have passed since Arthur and his family began their journey to the city of Xyrus. During the trip, Arthur's birthday also passed. He received gifts and lessons. As part of their training, Arthur, Adam, Helen, and Reynolds continue practicing near a waterfall. They all appear to be improving. Meanwhile, Alice bathes a younger Arthur in the waterfall's pool. Arthur notices Jasmine's surprising progress. She has managed to learn several new techniques. Adam and Reynolds seem to be playfully teasing Helen in the water. Arthur is impressed by Jasmine's ability to quickly grasp his explanations, especially when learning about feints. Meanwhile, he also appears frightened watching Adam and Reynolds' antics. Alice calls Arthur to leave. Little Arthur immediately runs to his mother. Two carriages travel away from the waterfall, beginning their journey. During the journey, Ray recalls a time when Reynolds got them into trouble. Ray is sure he's not the only one who frequently experiences problems because of Reynolds' actions. While in a hurry, Reynolds accidentally steps on a rat. Alice appears pale and weak. Little Arthur is worried and asks about his mother's condition. Alice says she's just a little tired. Little Arthur reads a book with ancient writing. He looks serious and then appears frustrated, as if someone is watching him. It turns out Jasmine asked to teach him to read again. Arthur continues reading the ancient book. Suddenly, Jasmine shouts, alerting them to the presence of bandits and warning them to prepare to fight. Lelia prepares to use her wind magic to protect them. Lelia manipulates the wind to deflect the bandits' arrows. The arrows are blown away and the ground trembles from the force. Little Arthur watches the fight from inside the carriage. Reynolds catches a bandit's arrow with his bare hand. Reynolds and Vari join the fight. Jasmine also jumps from the carriage, preparing to shoot her arrows. The bandits surround the carriages from the cliff above. A large bandit wields an axe. The bandit leader orders his men not to kill the women and children and to try not to frighten them, as damaged goods will fetch a lower price. The bandit leader appears satisfied with their haul. In the midst of deep darkness, a man with a sharp gaze and a determined smirk contemplates. He realizes that he has been lulled into complacency, forgetting that evil always lurks. A group of bandits, led by a dark-haired, muscular man, appears. They emanate a menacing aura, reminding the man of the world's filth that needs cleansing. A young boy with sharp blue eyes glares at the bandit leader, his expression filled with anger and annoyance. Arthur picks up an object from the floor. Alice hugs him tightly, trying to shield him from the impending danger. Her face is filled with fear, but she remains resolute in protecting her son. "Don't be afraid, Mommy's here," she whispers, trying to calm him. The bandits attack the village with arrows and magic. One of the villagers shouts, "Gather and defend!" A powerful explosion destroys an earthen wall, causing panic among the villagers. Dust and debris fly everywhere. Alice uses magic to deflect incoming arrows, and a woman in a green dress helps her. The bandits storm in, and a fierce battle is inevitable. A brown-haired man bravely confronts them, parrying their knife attacks and retaliating swiftly. He moves nimbly, taking down several bandits with precise kicks and punches. The fight intensifies. A black-haired girl and a red-haired man join the battle, wielding a sword and spear respectively with expertise. They move quickly and efficiently, incapacitating the bandits one by one. The red-haired girl deftly destroys a bandit's weapon and showers him with a flurry of stabs. The black-haired girl is equally formidable, swiftly dispatching several bandits with her sword. A blonde-haired woman uses a whip to injure the remaining bandits. She moves with speed and precision, overwhelming them. The black-haired girl swiftly charges in and finishes them off. The blonde-haired bandit attempts to capture the black-haired girl with her whip. However, the girl nimbly evades each attack. The black-haired girl is cornered, her position unfavorable. Arthur, watching from afar, is worried. Suddenly, the cart carrying Arthur and Alice is destroyed as Reynolds is thrown into it by a bandit's attack. The brown-haired man is gravely injured. His wife screams hysterically, "Honey!" The boy glares at the bandit leader with resentment. The bandit leader stands amidst the wreckage. Arthur tells his mother to quickly heal his father. However, his mother appears dazed and frightened, unable to do anything. The bandit leader stands amidst the wreckage. Arthur tells his mother to quickly heal his father. However, his mother appears dazed and frightened, unable to do anything. The man entrusts his wife and unborn child to his son. He begs his son to protect them. With his dying breath, he places his full trust in his son to safeguard his family.